What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a new knife review for you. Let's get into it. All right, guys, the knife that we're checking out today is actually a collab with Invictus Blades and Mini Katana. We're checking out the Mini Katana Z1. So this one was really interesting to me. It's a M390 at 62 HRC. I need to clean it up a little bit better there. There's still a little bit of adhesive. This is a smaller knife that has a lot going on with it. But what we're going to be doing in today's review is our typical size comparisons, profile, and weighing the knife. And then we'll jump into thoughts and impressions on this one. All right, first size comparisons are on the table, and we're looking at the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight, and we're looking at the Spyderco Manix 2 Lightweight. And this is more similar in size to your Para 3 Lightweight. It's going to very much mirror the size of your Benchmade Bug Out. Let's do a couple more. Okay, on the table, we got a couple of Vosteeds. We have the Hedgehog and we have the Psyop. Again, this is going to be more close in size to the Hedgehog, even though it's just a touch bigger. Let's check out close profile for Carrie. All right, here we go. We got the Hedgehog and the Para 3 Lightweight closed up for carry comparison. And believe it or not, the Z1 is actually going to be just a little bit longer, and it's going to have a little bit more sticking out as well because of the fact that it has that milled titanium pocket clip. As far as thickness profile goes, it is very similar to your Hedgehog here. Not a ton of difference going on with that thickness profile, and then checking it out against the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight, just a little bit thicker. It's not a huge difference there, but you can see it is a little bit different. Let's go ahead and grab the scale and check the weight of this one out. All right, we got the scale out and on. Let's see what the Z1 comes in at. So coming in right at 4 ounces, not too bad for the size of this knife. We'll go ahead and get the scale out of the way if I can cut it off, and then we'll jump into my thoughts and impression. All right, guys, let's talk about the Z1 Katana. First, we're going to talk about the ergos during the cutting performance. It was very comfortable in hand. I definitely felt that the pocket clip was there, but as I was holding it and cutting with it, I really didn't notice any particular hot spots. There is some jimping on that flipper tab. When you push up securely against it, you notice that it's there, and it's like on the verge of starting to be uncomfortable. The geometry on here, I would say, is like a medium cutting geometry. It's sliced well, but it's not the sliciest knife I've ever seen, and it moved through the cardboard well too. No big issues there at all. Now, I do want to jump into the handle a little bit here. It has a lot going on. You have some milling patterns cut out here above the inlay scale, which that red, I think it's red, what do they call it? Red carbon fiber? Red. It's been a while since I've seen that one. Unfortunately, looking at the red website, it just says it's the red carbon fiber. I think it's red marbled carbon fiber if I remember right, but it's been a little while since I've seen it like this, and it's a good looking carbon fiber for sure. I like the way that that stands out. You got some more milling patterns here. You even have milling on the button lock itself, and then on the pocket clip side, you have some speed holes here to kind of give you some design styles that match the milling that's over here towards the pivot itself. The pivot has holes for the actual bits themselves to go into on both sides, but as you've seen with CJRB here recently, this side has the hole, but it's really captive. It has like the D shape somewhere in there, so I can't take it apart to really say. Also, there is no weight reduction here on the inside of the scales, but it is cut away so that you can have this red marbled carbon fiber onlay on top, which is probably how they're able to help keep the weight down on this titanium knife. Now, what I hadn't checked prior to this point, okay, that is direct contact. Yeah, so it feels like the hardware is steel, and the pocket clip is definitely titanium. So steel hardware, which explains how they're able to keep the price of this down a little bit. They're also heat treating the M390 at 62 HRC, which is a very respectable production HRC. It is also a flipper only knife. I will say the detent on here feels kind of like a medium detent. It is not the best that I've ever seen, and it is certainly far from the worst. I would say it's like right there in the middle of the pack with some of the ones that I've seen. You can potentially fail this if you try really hard, but it does provide just enough detent there to be able to flick it. I'm trying now. This is like the, what, third or fourth time? So very nice. Let's see. No side to side, no lock rock either. Medium geometry, fairly thick blade stock for as small a knife this is, which lets me know that this is ready to work. Like, I feel like you can push this pretty hard, and with that solid lockup that you're getting with this plunge grind on this particular one, it feels like it will hold up well as you push through tasks. Now, as far as puncture tasks go, you have that flipper tab there for extra security, and for me, I don't land anywhere near that button until I push my thumb in. If I'm just kind of holding it naturally and just laying the thumb over top of my index, I have clearance and I have no issues there. Nice acute tip, very pokey tip. It feels sharp, just lightly touching it. The M390 I think performed pretty well. It is, again, going through the pass around, so the condition it comes in when it gets here, I really can't hold it against it. There is just a little tiny grab. It's not stick, just a little grab on that lock. And to me, that lets me know that the tolerances are very tight with the grab, but it's not hard to push it in. You can just kind of feel a little bit of grab as you go to push it. Very cool design. I really like the fact that it's a little bit different. They're trying to do some different materials and inlays and such. And it feels like the build quality on it's pretty nice. The plunge grind is a little far back. They either need to come all or forward. They need to come back further with it, or they need to bring the sharpening tool out just a little bit there, because you're actually almost already getting a smile from the factory. I don't know how well you'll be able to tell that, but you can see where the edge is actually coming up a little bit and getting a little thick right there where it terminates. So that's one thing I would probably say I would change. I don't see any lanyards for the folks out there that really like the lanyards, but you might be able to get away with wrapping one around that final post, but the blade looks like it's pretty much going to land on it, and I can't get my finger near it. It's very close to the top, and there's no lash. I mean, the build quality is really quite good on this. The looks for me, not really my cup of tea. There's a lot going on here that I think is nice, but for me, it's just not quite resonating with me on this particular one. I'm not quite sure if I could pinpoint and tell you why, though. I do rather like it, and what's really interesting is you're getting titanium with carbon fiber and M390 at 622 RC, which is respectable for production for $229. That's really compelling. A couple of alternative recommendations is going to be the premium Kaiser Militao. You can get this now with the purple haze or the gold dark matter carbon fiber with the polished DLC and S45VN for about $220, so very competitive. Another alternative recommendation is going to be the Vosteed Psyop, coming at you with LMAX, titanium, and you're getting that Spyderco style compression lock with the button from them. They're calling it the top liner lock. You're getting that for $250. Both of those a little bit of a larger knife recommendation. I would also say for a little less money, if you're not quite there on what you want to spend as far as being over 200, the Vosteed and Kilo with that pivot lock, LMAX steel or 154 cm steel and aluminum scales, coming in for under 170, even under 150 if you're getting the 154 cm, makes it a little bit more affordable, and still going to be a little bit larger than this, but pretty comparable as far as size. And then of course they have the Vosteed Hedgehog, also with aluminum and or micarta. I think they're still doing it in micarta. You're getting S35VN, which is a fantastic steel for pocket knives and EDC. A little bit smaller too, if you feel like this isn't really in your wheelhouse as far as the design. But it's an easy recommendation to make, even just spending a little bit of time with it. I know I don't get a ton of time with the pass rounds. I can say, like, ergonomically, all four fingers, check. chunky, so again, very comfortable ergonomically, check. I do feel this pattern here, but it is knocked down enough to where it's not sharp. I don't feel it in the palms or on the fingertips, and actually on the fingertips it gives a little bit of extra grip, a little bit of a thicker geometry, but I know that I'm going to be able to use this for a wide array of tasks. It's just not going to be as slicey as some of the other models that I have in my inventory, but it's still going to slice, so don't get that mixed up. Anyway, what do you think about the Mini Katana Z1? Yay or nay? Sound off down in the comments below and let me know. And while you're down there, if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, leave a like. It does help the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you follow along. I want to give an extra thanks to those channel members out there for that extra layer of loyal support that you provide. It really goes a long ways, and I do appreciate it. I hope all of you have a fantastic week, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.